From coast to coast, to all the men and women that represent and serve our great country around the globe, we salute you and thank you for all that you have done and continue to do on behalf of Canada to make us proud. And to all of those who have served and paid the ultimate sacrifice, you will not be forgotten. Here's a look at the starting netliners tonight. Kevin Poulet gets the call for the New York Islanders. 1-3 on the year with a 2.27 goals against average, .918 save percentage, while Carey Price is back in for Montreal at 6-7-1 with a 2.22 goals against average and .930 save percentage.
You know, John, lots of talk around Montreal is about PK Subban and is he getting enough ice? Is he in a battle with Michel Therrien? Well, PK Subban does not want to discuss it. He didn't want to talk about it after practice this morning. He just wants to play hockey. He just wants to move on, get some wins, get this losing streak over, get back in the win column and move on. And good for him. He is treating it like a true pro, putting it all behind him.
Yusli Bear and Kevin Pollock officials for tonight. Andy McElman and Mark Shuchek will work the lines as Gallagher's hustling after a puck. But McDonald will win the race there, and that will be an icing call against Montreal to start the game.
Well, Michel Therrien is changing up things a little bit with George Parros not in the lineup, and he has shaved his stash for November, but Michel Therrien is bringing back Gabriel Dumont. Get a little more offense on that fourth line, a little speed. He'll be making his debut tonight.
Therrien before the game saying he wanted to change the dynamic of the fourth line a bit, and it was a tough couple of weeks for that fourth line as well. So trying to mix things up a little. Subban will lift the backhander up for Lars Eller, who bats it across to Gallagher. Can't get further than the Islanders line. Eller brings it in, and the Canadians get caught for an offside there.
Well, on the other bench is Jack Capuano, who the only coach to coach more games is Al Arbour for the New York Islanders. I played a short time with Jack while he was in the Boston Bruin organization. He's a pretty good thinker of the game, and he wants his team to come out of this four-game road trip with at least one win. And that's got to be done here in Montreal as they wrap up their four-game road trip.
Hard to imagine that Capuano is second for wins in Islanders coaching history with 90. But he's got a long way to go to catch Al Arbour.
Yeah, I don't think that that's going to happen in today's era, the way teams change coaches. But I give the Islanders a lot of credit. They've stuck with Jack and Garth Snow. They're building a system of players through the draft.
George's shot off a skate in front, and that got cleared away from danger, and the Islanders are on the counterattack. Brought through center. Here's Brock Nelson on the wing for a post with a shot blocked by Price, and he gets back across to his right to deny Tavares a rebound opportunity.
Great opportunity by Oposo coming down as John Tavares has lost one of his best winners, St. Vannet, but he's still got Oposo with him, and you can see the Habs get caught a little deep. Three crash the net looking for the offense. Great job trying to get the offense, but that creates the outnumbered situation going back the other way. And Carey Price with a good blocker stop on a wrist shot for Oposo.
There's Gabriel Dumont out there now, but he lost the draw. Comes to the point for Aaron Ness, and his shot goes wide. Ness was recalled from Bridgeport just a few days ago. White knocks it down at center. They lifted in off the glass and rings around to the corner. Ness hustling after it. Moan in there first. He'll collide with Ness. Comes up on the boards, and Pouliot trying to hold it in, but that'll come to center. Dumont stripped for the puck by Colin McDonald. And the Islanders will get it to the Canadiens line where Douglas Murray is there. Work it back up along the boards. Matt Partner now has to wheel inside his own zone with it. Being watched by Dumont. Gets the pass up ahead. Brought in by Peter Regan. Regan trying to get the backhand pass across to Bouchard, but it was blocked by Francis Pouliot. Goes down to one knee. Now it's Dumont for Bonneval at center. Michael Bonneval can't enter the zone. McDonald's got a little room down the wing. Tees one up, and it's directed away by Price off his stick. Bouchard along the goal line, throws it on net. Price didn't know where it was. That was dangerously in front, but Bonneval will clear it.
Good pace by the Islanders after coming off a 5-2 loss where they got outplayed by Columbus last night. Got in late, didn't practice this morning, and they put the pressure on early.
Travis Hamonic now with it trying to get it to the net. Off a skate, it'll come out at center, and a race for it here. Darren Day trying to beat Bolton to the puck, but he's able to get it across in his own zone for Andrew McDonald. Casey Cizikas knocked down by Bonaval. Then he's taken into the boards in front of the Islanders bench as Markov will bring it in. Dumps it off to the corner. On the forecheck is Gallagher. Spins away from ahead in the slot for Galchenyuk. Couldn't pull the trigger on a shot. Galchenyuk goalless in his last 5 games. Here's Diaz with a snapper to the net. And it's gloved by Poulin as he'll hold on to that one. And Galchenyuk gets into a little shoving match afterwards.
Well, Carey Price has had to be sharp early so far here, John, and the Montreal Canadiens get caught in a little bit of a line change, a little bit of a bad defensive pinch by Douglas Murray, and it was Francis Bouillon who steps up to block the 2-on-1, but the Islanders have come out skating, and they are skating hard, taking pucks to the net, and shooting at every opportunity they got, as they've got 4 shots to the Habs 0 so far, and Carey Price is being sharp. Montreal Canadiens have got to step up the pace.
Puck gets cleared off the glass here to center as Diaz will knock it down. Grabner can't come up with it, and it's lifted back in the Islanders zone with Matt Donovan going there to retrieve it, but he'll take the hit from Lars Eller in the corner. Off for Galchenyuk and swung to Georges. Georges with the shot. Eller trying to redirect that one and went wide. Lars Eller hasn't scored a goal in the last 12 games, but that was in Vancouver. The own goal the Canucks had scored he was credited with, so chalk up the last goal that Lars Eller actually shot the puck to score as 14 games ago in Calgary on that Western Canadian road trip.
That's difficult when your 1A or 1B center has not scored a goal, but he's been playing pretty good hockey even though he hasn't scored.
Here's Gionta back for Plekanec, tipped towards an end, and Poulin got a piece of that one. He'll pounce on it at the side of the goal as Matt Carpenter will give Thomas Plekanec a little shot, and they have words.
That's a good start on through the neutral zone. A good play right there as you see Pacioretty kicks the puck into the middle to Plekanec, and a nice play as the Habs put the puck to the net. And this is what I think we're going to see more of. The Montreal Canadiens trying to score off the rush, handling the puck through the neutral zone with speed, such as that play right there. They tried earlier in the game by getting 3 forwards caught down deep, creating a 3-on-2 against. But when you're not scoring goals, you've got to take chances. And if you want to take those chances, you have to rely on teammates to back you up when you pinch, or your defense stepping up to stop the 2-on-1s. Coaches don't always like it, but if you want to score goals, you've got to outnumber the opposition somewhere on the ice. And sometimes that results in bad or outnumbered going the other way, but for the Montreal Canadiens, I think they'll trade chances with the Islanders tonight.
Ryan Gionta won the draw, rolling it for Plekanec. John Tavares gets over there to try and knock it away, and it's picked up by Brock Nelson. He'll skate it to center. Nelson feeds it over to Hamonic in his feet. Markov comes up with it and works it back up for Thomas Plekanec. Dropping it out for Max Pacioretty. Trying to go back for Plekanec. It was off his skate in the slot. Thrown on net by Subban, and Poulin had to be careful there to come up with a save. Now it is brought back to the line. Here's Tavares. Checked by Pacioretty. He's got it back now along the boards. Tavares will feed it up to the point. That puck comes out, and McDonald's got it back up at center with it. Throws it across to Oposo. Now back to McDonald and over to Hamonic. Feeds it up ahead, off the stick of Bouchard into the Canadian zone, but it's quickly tipped back out. The Islanders are in the middle of a line change here, so Carter will fire it right back in off the glass. Douglas Murray only had 1 block shot against the Senators on Thursday night in Ottawa. Hands it off here for Desharnais, wrapped it around behind his net, and Bouillon in the corner will stop to escape Bouchard, and now feed it back for Douglas Murray. Backs it up on the wing for Rene Bourque. Bourque across to Bonaval. He'll tip it in the corner. Desharnais going after it back to the net, but got cut off by Carter. Now the Islanders will bring it back through center. Pierre-Marc Bouchard in his 582nd career game tonight. Will slide it back for Carter. He now wants to take a little time in his own zone here. Hands it across to Aaron Ness. Ness back for Carter. Carter will skate it at center. He lifts it into the Canadian zone. Gabriel Dumont going after it. Taken into the corner though by Eric Bolton, and now it's brought out by Ryan White. He'll tip it ahead for Bonaval through center. Gets in on the wing and trying to put the puck through the skates of Thomas Hickey, but that didn't work. Islanders back on it. Donovan up on the wing for Martin. That got knocked away, and then Dumont takes a hard hit from Bolton as Travis Moan is up with the puck. Georges in the corner, up for Dumont, and Martin runs at him again. Matt Martin leads the NHL with 79 hits. Led the league in hits in each of the last 2 seasons as well. Always have to be aware when 17 for the Islanders is on the ice.
We've got another guy, Cal Clutterbuck, is not in the lineup for the Islanders. He's another guy who loves to crash and bang.
Dumont skates it in the Islanders zone. He got knocked down, and the fans were looking for a call there. They won't get one.
Dumont pretty much leaned back into the check, and the check backed off. And when you lean into it and he's not there, you fall down, and the fans thought it was a little bit of a hold, but no call made.
Grabner at center. Lost it to Lars Eller. Here's Galchenyuk with it. Over to Markov. Feeds it across for PK Subban, riding that 4-game point streak where he has a goal and 4 assists. Galchenyuk throws it on net. Steered to the corner. Hickey trying to slide it in front, and Poulin had to bat it away with the paddle of his stick. Gallagher kept it into the line. Here's Galchenyuk. Eller with a shot that got blocked. Eller on it again to the corner now. Down low for Galchenyuk. He's knocked to the ice by Hamonic. Grabner after the puck, and he'll lift it off the boards over the head of Subban and back down to the Canadian zone. PK Subban wheels his way to center, trying to find a little room. Doesn't like what he sees, so he'll curl back and hand it off for Josh Gorges. Gorges slides it in the Islanders zone, but it's turned over. Kyle Lapusso will flip it back to the Montreal end. Diaz loops a goal. Got it up for Brian Gionta. Handing it off for Plekanec down the wing. He'll knock it past Andy McDonald. Chases it down in the corner. Pacioretty comes in to help out. Max Pacioretty, pointless in his last 4 games, trying to get his stride back here after returning from that hamstring injury. Nelson dumps it in. Weiss will play it in the corner. That was dangerous, moving that puck outside the trapezoid.
Very close, very close. That's what happens when you're a veteran. You get those little bit, you get those 2 inches on either side of the line. I think Carey Price may have got one right there.
Gartner will dump it in. Clubbed by Price, who hands it off to Diaz. Rafael Diaz in his 100th NHL game tonight for the Canadiens. He's got the puck here again now. 8 blocked shots in the last 2 games for Diaz as he has stepped up in that category for Montreal. Here's Bourque with it now down the wing. Rene Bourque, snapshot right on. Poulin's got that, and he'll hang on. Teams exchange a few chances. Neither one on the board first here at the Bell Center.
It's to score goals, but he's just not getting involved enough to get on the score sheet. Here's a perfect example. The puck comes up. It's going to be tipped in by Bourneval right here. Desharnais's in the middle of the ice. He knew where the puck was going. He should have been first on the puck. He stopped skating at the top of the circle, and it's an easy out for the New York Islanders. You wonder why. If David Desharnais is wondering why he was a healthy scratch, that's a perfect example. But David Desharnais was at his best last year and the year before. He was in on that puck hard. He was protecting the puck. He was taking the hits to make the play. Now, I think he's not doing it consciously. He doesn't even realize he's not going for the puck there. That's what you call thinking too much. If he wasn't thinking, he'd be in on that puck, making the hit, making something happen, and he gets back to the bench. The coach is going to tap him on the back, say, great job. He will see that video, I'm sure, if not between periods, after this game tomorrow, and be told you cannot play that way. David Desharnais is struggling to find his game. We want to see him get in hard on forechecks. That was a perfect example for him to do it.
10 games without a point for Desharnais, and his last goal was April 25th in Winnipeg against the Jets at the end of last regular season, a stretch of 17 games.
When the team is struggling to score 5-on-5 such as they are now at the even strength situation, Desharnais gets lots of ice, and he's a guy who can really make things happen.
Here's Murray from the line, trying to flip it towards the net. Bourque looked to get his stick on that one. Desharnais blocks it on the boards, and it is picked up by Peter Regan. Signed it as a free agent with the Islanders on July 5th this summer, coming from Ottawa. Now it's tipped in by Colin McDonald. He takes a hit on the boards from Douglas Murray, then Murray runs at Regan. That allows Bourque to carry it at center. Rene Bourque's got a curl back here, bank it into the Islanders zone. Canadians trying to get a line change in. Colin McDonald will deflect it down to the corner. Markov going after it. Andre Markov hands it off here to Lars Eller. Works it through center to Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher in on the left side, trying to tip it into the boards. Martin takes the check. Eller looking for the puck. He'll swing it around to the far side, and Subban has got it. PK Subban and Gallagher trying to tee up the one-timer, and he took it off the heel of his stick. Markov looks to get that one to the net. It's blocked. Here's Subban with it again. On the boards for Gallagher. Down low in the corner to Lars Eller. Trying to get away from Hickey. Up high for Subban. Over to Markov. With the shot deflected by Gallagher. And Poulin got a piece of that one. Puck will come out at center. And Subban is there to play it through his own legs for Lars Eller, but it's broken up and Bolton will dump it in for the Islanders.
Excellent shift by Lars Eller's line with Galchenyuk and Gallagher with Markov and Subban on the back end. A couple of nice shots from up high. Good deflection by Gallagher. Good pressure in the Islanders zone.
Puck tipped away here at center ice now. Grabner will lift it in. Frans Nielsen after it. Bailey is on it. Feeds it up high for Ness with a shot. Stopped by Price. He'll glove it and hold on. 6-5 the shots in favor of the Islanders midway through the first, but scoreless with the Canadiens on TSN. Well, the Canadiens hoping to get some good news on the injury front this week, and with more on that, let's go downstairs to Jessica Rusnak.
John, there's definitely good news when it comes to Daniel Briere, who suffered his third concussion in just 21 months back on October 19th in a game against the Nashville Predators when he was hit by Eric Nystrom. He's now symptom-free and cleared for contact. He took part in the last 3 Canadiens practices, and Michel Therrien said there is a possibility he could get back into the lineup as soon as next week. John, back to you.
Well, good news there is Canadiens could use all the healthy bodies they can to get back here.
No question. It's a team that when you're not scoring on the even strength situation, you want to have veterans in the lineup. And Briere is a veteran who has gone through many slumps, and he's on many teams that he'll find a way to get things done. And he's the guy you want back in your lineup.
PK Subban will flip it in the air out at center. It jumped over the stick of Mikel Bonneval and now is worked off the boards and dumped back in by Aaron Ness. And that will end up being a whistle here. And tonight, the future of women's hockey debuts on the national stage. It's the National Women's Under-18 Championship. Coverage gets underway immediately following the 2013 Capital One Road to the Roar on TSN2. David Desharnais taking the draw against Frans Nielsen. Ties him up there, and it's caught in the skates of Desharnais. Then Markov lost it in his feet as Bailey will dump it into the Canadian zone. Subban around behind the net with it. Up onto the boards for Rene Bourque, and he'll hand it off back through center for Desharnais, trying to get it to Subban, who knocks it by Grabner in the Islanders' end. Here's Carpenter with it. Feeds it back across to Aaron Ness. Long pass up at center. Grabner onto the wing, brought in by Nielsen. Here's Grabner with it, but it's swiped away by Markov on top the end boards, and Price had to knock it away. Carpenter from the point with it. Hands it off to Nielsen. Takes a shot that goes wide. It comes off the boards all the way back at center, and Carpenter is there to get it.
Well, the Montreal Canadiens are giving up the neutral zone in the middle of the neutral zone. The Islanders seem to find the man in the middle of the ice, and it seems to be an easy entry. The Habs have to shut down the neutral zone and stop that speed or the plays coming up into their zone. There's again right down the middle of the box for the Islanders. It's broken up nicely there on the back end by Georges, but that's one time only that the Habs have been able to step up and take that play away. The middle of the neutral zone, right by the big double CH in the middle of the ice, has been wide open for the Islanders. You can see the opening there, and there's a quick little play, but it's Georges closes the gap. It's difficult for your defense to stand up and close the gap when they're coming at you with speed, because that's where you end up getting breakaways from the blue line in. Georges did a nice job of getting the puck, ended up icing it, but the Habs forwards have got to shut that down by the Islanders. Eliminate their speed going through the neutral zone in the middle of the ice, force them wide, and all their entries out on the outside.
Buck Nelson knocked down back in the net by Diaz, and it is Gianta with a pass through center. Pacioretty a little give and go to Plekanec. He'll lift it in the corner. Pacioretty going after it. Takes the check, but rolled it off for Plekanec. Trying to center it in front. McDonald intercepts. Pacioretty gets it back. Feeds the point for Pouliot with a drive, and it's right on. Kevin Pouliot has got that one at the top of the crease for the Islanders.
Well, John Tavares is the stick that stirs the drink of the New York Islanders. Boy, oh boy, has he been getting good and better every single year. He's been in the National Hockey League, the #1 overall pick. In 2009, he was given the exceptional status to play in the Ontario Hockey League with the Ottawa Generals. He started there when he was 14 years old, turned 15 as the season got going, and he just gets better and better. He's given the C, and rightfully so. He can be a dominant player and leads this team on and off the ice.
Tavares, the 14th captain in Islanders franchise history, actually leads the Islanders with 224 regular season consecutive games played as well, so he's been a workhorse for them. Poulin will glove the shot here. We'll have another face-off inside the Islanders zone with the shots even at 6 apiece here.
Good job by Murray to get this shot through. A little bit wide. The Montreal Canadiens have got to work on getting more people in front of Kevin Poulin. He's seeing most of these shots. The Habs are getting good point shots, but need more traffic in front. Look for deflections, screens, rebounds off of screens. They're setting up the shots, but just don't have any bodies there.
There's Peter Regan on the attack for the Islanders. Knocked down by Lars Eller. He'll finish his check back behind the goal. Poulin going after the puck. Murray in there as well. Lars Eller trying to reach it. Now it's Colin McDonald, though, that comes up with it. Immediately tied up by Poulin. Up onto the wing. Eller trying to knock it down. Bouchard in the corner. All tangled up. Murray's got him held there. Now it comes free, and it's back to the point. Donovan will settle it down, close it towards the goal, and that is kicked away by the skate of Douglas Murray in front of the net. Here's Bouchard in the slot for Colin McDonald. Poked away by Price. Rebound comes right back to the Islanders. Bouchard with a chance. That shot goes wide, and a penalty coming up here to Montreal. Poulin will touch the puck, and it'll be a hooking call against Lars Eller. That will send the Islanders to the first power play of the night.
Oh, great shift by the New York Islanders. They really got the Montreal Canadiens running around in their own zone. And when you get running around in your own zone, sometimes the only way to stop the opposition is to reach out with the stick, put a hold on someone, and it was Lars Eller who reached out with the hook. A little bit of a scramble play. As you can see, Lars Eller, he's going to the net with Peter Regan. He's got the stick right up under his arm. An easy call for the referee.
The Islanders power play 17th in the league. They have 10 power play goals, but the Canadiens penalty killers have continued to improve throughout the year. They're actually 4th in the league now, killing off 87.3%. Here's Nielsen, though, bringing it in. Back to the point for McDonald. Andy McDonald on it. Right side for Nielsen. Frans Nielsen sends it down low. Back of the net. Nelson up high. Tavares ripped the shot wide, and it comes all the way back to the point. Nielsen's got it again. Hands it off for Opolso. Back for McDonald across to Tavares. In tight. And it's taken in front by Brock Nelson. Swung up to the point. McDonald, near side for Nielsen. Down low Tavares trying to go back in the slot. Bone can't clear it. McDonald fires. That's off the skate and wide. It'll come to the line and is held in by Nielsen. Broken up though. Bone will flip it ahead. Plekanec trying to catch up to it shorthanded and does. Takes it around the net. Looking for an outlet pass here. But he's on his own in the corner as the rest of the penalty killers are on a change. Ryan White comes up with it. Opolso takes him down to the corner. White trying to hold it here and burn off a few more seconds of this power play, and he'll send it to center for Murray. And Murray wires it back in as the fans here at the Bell Center are very appreciative of the penalty killers' work.
Well, excellent job by Thomas Plekanec. Travis Mullen started it. Ryan White made the change, and they caught the Islanders' power play tired in their own zone. Good kill.
Colin McDonald back up with it. Drops it off for Bouchard. Feeds the point. Donovan takes the shot. Giving back for Bouchard. Bouchard hanging on. Colin McDonald parked in front trying to screen Price. Here's the shot. And Price comes up with a save. Had to look around him. Bouchard on it again. Takes it down low. Bouchard waiting with it on the goal line. Up high, 7 seconds to go in the power play. Now it's Donovan, back for Bouchard, who fires and his stick broke. Pacioretty's got it, hands it off, and it's Dumont that will carry it to the Islanders line. Eller is out of the box. And the Canadiens now perfect on their last 19 straight penalty kills. And now the Islanders will get called for tripping. And it will be the Canadiens' turn on the power play when we return. Under 5 minutes to go in the opening period. And scoreless for the Islanders and Canadiens on TSN.
Excellent job by the Montreal Canadiens as they killed their first penalty off in this game. And it all starts with a broken stick by Pierre-Marc Bouchard. And it's Pacioretty picks up the puck, and he smartly just outlets the pass to Gabriel Dumont, who moves up the ice, hangs onto it, and waits for his teammates to come in. And you can see Eller coming in to pick up the loose puck. It's tripped by McDonald. Eller came out of the box. The penalty was killed with Eller in the box. He gets out and he draws the next penalty, but a very, very good penalty kill by the Canadiens, using their heads. Every time they picked up a loose puck, they were looking for the loose man. They must have spent a good 20 to 25 seconds in the offensive zone, working the puck on the boards, killing the clock. Just a very, very smart penalty kill by the Montreal Canadiens, who have been perfect in that department in the last 6 games.
And now the third best power play in the league goes to work against the worst penalty kill in the league for the Islanders. Here's Subban with it. PK Subban hangs on to the puck, gives it off to Galchenyuk. Skates it down low. Eller's trying to center in front for Markov, sneaking in for the point, and that got tipped away.
It was a great play by Kevin Poulin with the stick. He was the extra man. Otherwise, that was a goal by Markov on the back door. Poulin just poked that away when it went through his crease.
Subban down to the corner, plays it off to the far side for Lars Eller. Up high, here's Markov with it. Giving it back for Lars Eller. Subban this time sneaking in. Now backs away. Markov will hand it off to him. Return pass, Markov's got it. Over to Subban. PK Subban looks to the net. His way to Markov. Back for Subban. The drive. Stop by Poulin. Rebound. Galchenyuk crashing the crease. Can't tuck it in. Now throws it back to the crease. And it comes out the other side. Markov with it again. Hands it off for Gallagher. Now Markov trying to go down low. It's poked away. He gets it back. Throws it towards the net. Galchenyuk right to the top of the crease. And Eller will get it on the far side again. Galchenyuk back to Lars Eller. Eller over to Markov. Passing behind him. He'll take it off the board. Back for Eller. Fan of the one-timer on the Islanders. Come up with it as Peter Regan will skate it to center and flip it in the Canadian zone.
Excellent job by the Canadians up front and on the back end with Markov and Subban on puck retrieval, creating the plays after a broken play. They were quick enough to regain possession of the puck. They were winning the one-on-one battles down low on the boards, just unable to connect on a couple of those cross-ice passes for the shot.
Here's Pacioretty with it now. Max Pacioretty drops for Bouillon, across for Diaz. Return feed, Bouillon looks to the net. Gives way for Diaz. Goes down low to Thomas Plekanec. Plekanec back for Bouillon, had to knock it down at the line. Now Plekanec in with a shot. Redirected twice, but it ends up going wide. Pacioretty bats it off for Diaz. He's got to hustle after it here. Bouillon at the point, keeps it in as Casey Cizikas was diving for it, trying to swipe it out. Power play is over. Back at 5-a-side. Pacioretty working it down low in the corner. Giunta there as well. As the Canadians managed 3 shots in that power play. The Islanders clear it to center. There's Bouillon with it. Back in on the wing. Hands it off for Brian Giunta. Centering pass poked away by Kevin Poulin. And it is brought out by Kyle Okposo. Okposo got it to the line, lost it. Desharnais on the attack, back the other way. He's on his own here, though. Needs a little help as he's taken into the corner by Hamonic. Now he's got it, feeding it for Georges. Georges with the shot, and it's off the skate and wide. Bourque in the corner, up to the point for Markov. Over to Georges. Georges going it wide, trying to get it back for Bourque. Then hopped away, though, and Kyle Okposo is there to skate it out to center. Travis Moe now trying to find it in his feet. Desharnais has got it back at the line, but it's taken away by Brock Nelson. Travis Hamonic handing it back across for Aaron Ness. Up at center, Markov broke that one up. And Desharnais will lift it right back into the Islanders zone as Poulin will hand it off here in his own end with 90 seconds remaining in the opening period.
Great pace to this first period of the Islanders in back-to-back games. They're not going to be able to keep this up. Super job by the Montreal Canadiens throughout this first period to really push the pace.
Fanning on it at his own line was Donovan. That allows Portugal in with a shot on the short side that Poulin jams up against the post and keeps out.
Throughout the first period, we've had some great plays offensive on both sides for the Canadians, and we haven't had a lot of hitting, and we're going to see Max Pacioretty with probably the hit of the game, whether it's intentional or not, but you see Pacioretty come in, and he takes out Kyle Okposo right there. Okposo didn't see him coming, and Pacioretty, with the hit of the game so far, Kyle Okposo was slow to get up. Max Pacioretty, he is obviously back to 100% after coming back off that hamstring injury, laying his body out right inside his own blue line.
Islanders win the draw here. Donovan, though, tied up, but he's able to slide it over to Thomas Hickey, and Hickey will get it out. That one ends up by Peter Regan and down the ice. Colin McDonald first on it. Throws it around the boards. Bouchard handing it off, and it's dumped back in by Hickey to the corner. Bouchard trying to get it for Regan. Pass tipped away in front. Price swiping at it, and the Islanders get it back, but it's turned over, and Lars Eller will skate it to center. Checked by Donovan. Gallagher follows up with the play, and he'll slide it inside the New York zone. Here, Marks Bouchard. It's center. Fires a high one in. Price stands up to that one and will hand it off for Subban with the Islanders in the middle of the line change. PK Subban gets to his own blue line. Now turns back, handing it off for Josh Georges. Georges back for Subban. Trying to find a little room through center, and does. Into the Islanders zone. He'll throw it towards the net, and Pulis steers it to the corner. Back to the point. Georges is on it. Georges throws it towards the net. That's off his stick and wide. Pacioretty's got it. Dropping it down low in the corner. Gionta back around behind the net. Thomas Plekanec after it. Plekanec centering in front for Pacioretty. Broken up goal. And time's going to run out here on Brian Gionta before he can get a shot away.
Very entertaining first period by the Montreal Canadiens and the New York Islanders, but I really like the way the Canadiens are skating in this game. They're carrying the play. Excellent penalty kill. Solid on the power play. Very good first period for the Montreal Canadiens, even though it's still 0-0.
Jessica Rusnak will stand by with a Canadian coming up, and John Lu in tonight for Have Your Say, as well as some analysis on the first period in our first intermission. 11-10 the shots in favor of the Canadiens, but a scoreless first period here at the Bell Center on TSN. Scoring in the opening period with a couple of defensemen with over 8 minutes of ice time to lead their respective clubs in the first 20 minutes, and shots on goal even at 10 apiece. They actually took a shot away from Montreal on the stats, but we get set for period number 2.
The one player on the New York Islanders that I think you're going to see more of this period is John Tavares. He was a runner-up for the Hart Trophy. He was last season. He was a finalist, and every year that he has been with the Islanders, this is his 5th. He has led the team in scoring. And you talk about a player who just continues to improve night in, night out, year in and year out. It's John Tavares. Everybody said when he came into the league, oh, he's going to have to work on his skating. Well, he is now, I would say, as good a skater as anybody in the National Hockey League. A lot of people are saying that he will be on the Canadian Olympic team, and he deserves to be on that team. And he is a player the New York Islanders rely heavily upon, and I think we're going to see a lot more of him in the second period. The Habs will have their handful with him.
Here's Grabner up with the puck, gets it ahead at center for Nielsen. Return feed to Grabner. Back for Nielsen in with a snapshot. Ends up off the stick and over the glass in behind Carey Price.
Price is having a very good season, even though his record is at 6-7-1. His goals against is 2.22, a .930 save percentage. He's got outstanding stats. He just can't seem to get the wins, and that's because the team in front of him just isn't scoring enough goals. But for Carey Price, he's had a great season with the Montreal Canadiens so far.
David Desharnais after the puck around behind his own net.
You hate to keep bringing it up, but another player, and I think he's a lot of say that it's Roberto Luongo #1. I think Carey Price is the #1 goaltender for Team Canada. I think he's been that good this season. But it's going to be hard to knock off Roberto Luongo after he won gold for Canada in the last Olympics in Vancouver.
Icing called here against the Canadiens, and yes, indeed, it will be very interesting to see who ends up getting the start for Team Canada. And when Price has been good, his team has benefited from it.
No question, when the stats are in your favor as a goaltender, you're going to win games. And I had a coach tell me, he says, well, my coaching record is a direct reflection of the goaltender's save percentage. And it's so true. When the goalie's hot, your team wins lots of games. But for Carey Price, he's had some hot games where the team just hasn't scored for him this season.
Travis Mullen banks it off the boards down in the corner. Thomas Hickey will wrap it around on the wing. Brock Nelson trying to tip it out. He's got Diaz right on him inside the line, and now it is brought out by Kyle Okposo. Up to center, he'll flip it in the corner. Josh Georges going after it. Drops it off for Plekanec, lifting it around the glass, and that one hit the top of the glass and goes out of play.
Thomas Plekanec has been playing very well as of late. Started off a little slow. He's got 12 points in his 17 games, and it took him a little while to get going. But he is doing it all for the Montreal Canadiens. He leads the team up front in ice time with 18 minutes and 47 seconds. He's big on the penalty kill. He's 8th in the league in total faceoffs taken at 361. So it tells you how important the player Thomas Plekanec is when he's taking that many faceoffs. This is about 30% of the team's faceoffs.
Here's Diaz up with it. Banked it ahead for Gallagher. Tipped out at center. Ness will get it across for Carkner. And Carkner dumps it back in. And then Ryan White and Carkner have a few words in between the benches. And White will jump off as Price plays it around behind his own net. Gallagher backs away from going for it. Colin McDonald will feed it off here. Bouchard back in the net with it. Throws it out front for Ness coming in from the point. It's tipped away, and the Canadians are back on it. Galchenyuk up to Gallagher, streaking in, shoots, scores! Number 8 on the year for Brendan Gallagher, and what a play to get that pass in his skate and then get it up to his stick for the shot.
Well, you said it, John. This is fantastic. Galchenyuk throws it up to an area, but it is in Gallagher's feet, and he takes it with his left foot, corrals it with both feet. This is just a tremendous play at full speed. Doesn't lose a step. You can see as he reaches back with his left foot, and then to get the puck on the stick and find just the inside of the post on the far side. Great goal by Brendan Gallagher. He just continues to amaze at his skill level.
Rene Bourque with it now. Hilltop it in along the wing. Desharnais back to the point for Bouillon. Off to Desharnais again. Snapped towards the net. It went off the skate of Porteval in front. He was all tied up there with Andrew McDonald, and it's cleared back to the Canadian zone. Here's Travis Hamonic with it. Hamonic in on the wing. Snap shot off the glove of Price, and he'll snag it as it bounces right back into his hand.
Sometimes you see these plays, when you see it live, you go, oh, nice, he took it off his feet. And every National Hockey League player can do this. But watch how he reaches back. The puck is deflected by McDonald, and Gallagher actually reaches back with his left foot in stride, corrals the puck, kicks it up to his stick, and within maybe a second is able to put it exactly where he wants it, low far side. And that, he makes it look easy, but trust me, that is not an easy play.
3 goals in his last 5 games now. Here's Kyle Oposa in the corner for Georgians. Up on the boards, and Gianta will carry it out at center. Trying to connect with Pacioretty there. That center is stick, but he's first on the puck. Pulls it back for Brian Gianta. It's tipped away, and Nelson will get it across ice. Tavares puts it in the Canadian zone. Georgians bats it up on the boards as McKennett's trying to kick it with his skate there, and the puck is shot out of play.
Brendan Gallagher, a good thing about Brendan Gallagher scoring is he comes back on the ice. He also got Lars Eller with getting a point, and Lars Eller has really been struggling. He hasn't been scoring. He got an assist on that play. It's his 3rd assist in his 13th game, and that is so important. Gallagher is being consistent with putting the puck in the net, but it's Lars Eller who this team really needs to get back on the score sheet in the goal column, as he started that play with a little chip or a little easy pass to Galchenyuk out of his own zone. This line can find the magic they had in the first 3 or 4 games. The Montreal Canadiens be putting up 4 goals a game.
Brendan Gallagher probably had his most feisty game in the NHL Thursday night in Ottawa as the Canadiens get called for icing there. He had 8 penalty minutes in that game. But here's a look at the schedule coming up for the Canadiens on TSN. Wednesday, November 27th, the next game in Buffalo. You'll be able to see as the Habs face the Sabres and then head to the nation's capital in the U.S. for Black Friday, taking on the Capitals. It'll be a 5 o'clock start time after the U.S. Thanksgiving on November 28th. Off the draw now. Eller goes after it in the corner. Played back for PK Subban. He'll work it in front of his own net, and Eller escapes Nielsen. Hands a pass off for Galchenyuk. Couldn't handle it though, and Subban will bring it back in. PK Subban with it. Drags it around and got it over to Gallagher with a shot off the outside of the net. Subban just got right around Donovan there, and now Eller trying to get it in front for Galchenyuk. It's taken away, and Donovan will lift the backhander all the way down the ice. It rolls wide of the net, and that will be an icing call against New York.
John, interesting. PK Subban made a great play down low, but we saw how Brendan Gallagher picked up the puck at the blue line. Well, Galchenyuk wasn't able to get it, so PK Subban scoops it up, does the nice between the legs play, and throws it backhand across. This is just a super play. You talk the skill level of these players in this game. Within about 2 minutes, you see a great individual effort by Subban.
Here's Ryan White with a chance, and the shot got blocked. He's got it in the corner again. White up the half boards with it. Drops it down low. It ends up back in the net. Donovan hustling after the corner. Own in on him as Josh Bailey will lift the high backhander that is all the way down the ice. Bouchard will knock it down. Waiting for a little help here in the Canadian zone. He's got Bouillon on him. Feeds it back to the net. Casey Cizikas in front. Great save made by Carey Price on the redirect by Matt Martin right on the doorstep.
Matt Martin came off the bench, went right to the slot, got a nice little feed from behind the net, but Carey Price saw it the whole way. Nice play by Bouchard down along the wall. Bouillon boxes him out, forces the puck behind the net. Zizekas gets it, puts it right out into the slot, and that's where Martin comes crashing the net. But Carey Price saw the play developing and easily slides across and takes that backhander away from Martin. It's the best opportunity, I would say, so far the New York Islanders have had in this game. And it all started from Bouchard was actually coaching as it was flipped out of their own zone. He was inside the blue line.
Shot off the mask of Price here, and he's able to corral it in the crease. And hang on, as that quick one caught him up high and popped the buckle on his mask right off.
All comes off a quick face-off win, and it's Martin again, just throws the puck to the net, and there's Casey Zizekas just driving the net. He wins the draw back, goes right to the net, and he's able to get a whack at it between Markov's legs. Nice job by Carey Price on the initial shot, and those shots are, trust me, they rattle you. When you get that shot in the mask, all you're going to hear, it's like you put a helmet over your head, whack it with a baseball bat. That's what Carey Price felt and hears as he was able to find the puck afterwards.
The chin strap on the inside of his mask is broken here, so he's going to get his second mask to come out and switch it up after that shot. The chin cup that's inside that rests under his face inside the mask has a strap on the inside that is tied to a screw to it there, and the hole in the screw had ripped off on that shot and broke, so he'll switch it up and come up with a new one here. And you're right, you take one off the cage and ringing in your ears goes on for a few minutes as Price will cover it up in the crease here again.
See if we're going to get a line change here. This is two face-offs in a row. Casey Zizekas took this one forward to the net, and it's going to be the Islanders who are going to change the line as the Habs are going to match lines. But great job by Casey Zizekas. Wins one back to get the shot by Matt Martin, and then takes the next one forward. Carey Price had to be sharp on both. We're going to have both teams are going to have line changes. A little surprised why Jack Capuano would change things up when you get a pretty good, you get two face-offs from your fourth line, two scoring opportunities, you pull them off the ice. But you are putting John Tavares on, so I can maybe see why he's doing that.
Thomas Plekanec is going to get called here for the illegal face-off off the draw as he put his hand down to try and move the puck away, and as a result, he'll go to the box, and the Islanders will get their second power play.
The Islanders building some momentum off of one play as we're going to have a look at Plekanec on the draw, kind of falls back, and as he goes down, you can see covers the puck up. We'll get a much better look at it here. Pushes back.
And Tavares right away, and all the Islanders on the bench were yelling immediately at the officials and pointing about Tavares doing it. So
it used to be a good play when you got down low on the faceoff and you tied up the opposition stick and pushed the puck back with your hand, and you cannot do that with the rules. You have to play the puck with your stick. You can play it with your foot, but you have to make an attempt at it with your stick. Just an unfortunate situation of the way Plekanec fell down on the puck.
So the Islanders go to the power play here as Tavares hands it off for Andy McDonald. McDonald trying to find a little open ice. Gives way for Tavares in the slot. Oposo got a piece of it. It's tipped away and down the ice. And Kevin Poulin is going to come out of the net here to hand it off for McDonald.
Play by Josh Georges to see the loose puck as the play in the slot didn't really materialize by the Islanders, and Georges just smartly shot it right down the ice.
Now along the boards, Georges trying to find it in his feet, comes along in front of Oposo with a chance. Oh my stars, what a stop by Carey Price. Denies Oposo, he was all alone on the north step.
You're not going to get a better matchup than that. Kyle Okposo and Carey Price, a one-on-one. Carey Price stones Okposo.
Carey Price just punched his ticket onto the honor roll on SportsCenter tonight. Here's Tavares with it. Back to the point for McDonald. Tees it across. Okposo back for McDonald. Over to Tavares. Rips the shot. It's wide. Douglas Murray's got it, and he'll clear it down the ice.
Sometimes your goaltender is your best penalty killer, and in this situation, it's Carey Price for sure. The first power play for the Islanders in the game, it was the Canadians forwards, and in this situation, it's Carey Price.
There's Bouchard for Bailey. Back along to Bouchard. Along the boards, being watched by Markov. Swings it around the far side. Bailey has to hustle after the puck here. Looks to get away from Pacioretty. Played the puck in his skates. He'll get it back in the corner. Josh Bailey with it. Up high to the point. Kept in by Donovan. Across for Bouchard. Back for Donovan. Sends it down low in the corner. Bouchard had to kick it up to his stick from his skates here. Now trying to get away from Bonneval. Pass in front, blocked by Markov. Donovan's got it again. Beats it across for Bailey. Down low in the corner. Bouchard still with it. Top of the circle with a shot blocked by Murray. Fired off the boards and out. And Plekanec is going to hustle after it. Donovan doesn't look over his right shoulder. Now sees him, but it's too late as Plekanec will take the puck all the way to the right corner. Thomas Plekanec in the slot for Gallagher, and that one just went under his stick. Canadiens penalty killers now on a run of 20 straight power plays they have killed off. And here comes Galchenyuk with it. Galchenyuk reached, drags the puck, and then had to float it to the net as Kevin Kulak comes up with a stop, and he'll hold on. As the Islanders power play unsuccessful due to the great goaltending from Carey Price as the Canadiens lead it 1-0 on the goal by Brendan Gallagher.
Team on the penalty kill at 7 straight games at 20 for 20, and what happens is 4 players get caught in the corner battling against 3 Islander players. The puck pops out to Kyle Oposo, who's got 5 goals on the season, is one of the hottest scorers for the New York Islanders, and Carey Price is able to step up with the right pad and make the save of the game so far. Kyle Oposo is not going to have a better opportunity at any time to score a goal than that one right there.
And he's got his mask back as well after the repair was made, so he's switched back to his other case. Done some great work by the equipment staff here, and you know they are always unheralded and unrated, the equipment and training staff, aren't they, Dave?
Oh, they are. The team would not be where they are without guys behind the scenes. They do all the work and get no public credit, trust me. The players know how hard they work.
Absolutely. Puck dumped into the corner now, and it's Gallagher that'll feed it back behind the net. For Bouillon, off ahead to Gallagher again as Martin missed a check on Bouillon back behind the play. Here comes Gallagher into the wing. That got tipped away though, and off the bench, Islanders come up with it as Brock Nelson feeds it to Josh Bailey. Bailey in on the wing, hands it off for Nelson at the point. Penalty coming up to Montreal. A drive by Hamonic is stopped by Price. Bouillon is got it, and it'll be a holding call that will send the Islanders back to the power play for the 3rd time tonight.
Bouillon's going to get the penalty, and it all starts with a line change, kind of a late line change by the New York Islanders.
Montreal, 2 minutes holding.
Either way, a tough situation for the Canadiens as they killed off the last penalty just a couple minutes ago, and it was more Carey Price did a solid job, but you do not want to continue to give teams power play opportunities, especially back-to-back such as this. Tires out your penalty killers. Really messes up the line combinations on the bench, and Montreal Canadiens got to be very sharp to stay out of the box.
Islanders have managed 2 shots so far in their power plays. Here's Bouchard with it. Walking in, fire, scores! Here, Marc Bouchard gets a little room, and a rocket of a shot ends up on the top of the net, and the Islanders have tied it at 1.
The Sherbrooke native just absolute rocket from the point as he goes top shelf on Carey Price, and the Montreal Canadiens just aren't able to get the puck out of their own zone after the face-off. And Bouchard with a beautiful shot, more known for his passing than his goal scoring. That's Bouchard's 3rd goal of the season. But that was just a great shot, and that's a situation where you give the opposition a power play just after you've killed the penalty off, and you put them right back on the power play. It's almost like a 4-minute straight power play. Tough to kill those second ones in the back-to-backs, and the Montreal Canadiens just weren't able to do it as the Islanders connected quickly.
11 seconds is all it took, and that ends the Canadian streak of perfect on the penalty kill at 20 straight. As it's a 1-1 game now. Here's Subban tipping it off for Andre Markov. Markov feeds it up through center, picked up by Bork. Bork will bring it in down the right side, trying to roll it in front, and that got tipped away. Markov pinching in, takes a hit, and allows Bork to get the puck. Trying to go back for Markov over his stick. One him out. Off for Bork, and he can't control it as it's brought back at center. And flipped in by Colin McDonald. Out of the net is Carey Price. Backhands it around the wing. Subban has got it. Ahead for Rene Boyd. Trying to slide it over for Desharnais. But Nielsen got out of the way, and the Islanders reset with it. Price again. Will stop it back in the net. Leaving it for PK Subban. Hands it across to Markov. Long feed through center. Plekanec tipped it over to Bourneval, but he put himself offside trying to get the puck. And now Kartner and Bourque are in a shoving match. And they are separated. And Matt Kartner actually was originally drafted by Montreal in the second round, 58th overall back in the 1999 draft.
This is a good job by the Islanders as we have another look at the goal. The Montreal Canadiens just are not able to pick up the puck, and their play that they do so often and they do so well down low on a face-off win is you bring your winger in the middle of the ice below the net to retrieve the face-off win. You win it back, you try to punch it behind the net. Well, it wasn't able to get over to Pacioretty, and then Pacioretty was not able to get out quick enough because he was down below expecting the pass to come and clear it, and that's why Bouchard had so much time at the point.
Here's Douglas Murray with a snapshot from the point that goes wide. Pacioretty after it, he'll backhand it around the boards. Murray hustling in, knocks it back behind the goal. Thomas Plekanec trying to reach it, but it's Pacioretty that's got it. He'll backhand it to the far side. Brian Gionta hustling after it. 6 points in the last 9 games for Gionta. As Pacioretty will knock it down and try to tip it in front. Gionta spins and fires, and it's kicked out by the pad of Kulak. Really to the line, held in by Murray. Pacioretty for Thomas Plekanec with it. Goes to dump it in, and he ends up shooting it out of play.
Good work down low by the Montreal Canadiens, and it results in a really nice chance by Brian Gionta, but Kevin Poulin is way out of his net on top of the circle. Pacioretty with a smart play, sees his teammate in the slot. Gionta with a quick spin around shot, but you could see where Poulin was on that shot. He was almost going to come right up and behind Gionta to take the angle away.
Diaz at the point, will keep it in, dumps it off for Galchenyuk. Trying to work it on the right side. Lars Eller goes after it. Gallagher trying to poke it away, and that comes out. Eller will get it back. John Tavares up ahead for Kyle Okposo with a shot. It's off the skate of Georges to the corner. Josh Georges leads the Canadiens in block shots coming into the game tonight with 45. Markov's only one behind him with 44. Galchenyuk dives, knocked it to the line, but it's held in by Donovan. Here's Nelson with it. Brock Nelson with a shot blocked by Diaz. That one then went off the leg of Georges, nearly deflecting in. Okposo hands it off. Tavares shoots. Stopped by Price, and he'll get the stick out to corral the rebound and calm things down in the Canadian zone.
Well, Brock Nelson is a rookie for the New York Islanders this season. He's played 11 games, and he's now on the top line with Thomas Vanek out. He almost got his second goal of the season as the puck that he shot to the net and caromed, and it took a funny bounce, and it ended up going off Georges and off the top of the net. Georges blocks a lot of shots for the Montreal Canadiens. I don't think that's going to be a blocked shot. It was just going into the corner. But he almost kicked that one into his own net inadvertently, but good for Brock Nelson. His uncle is Dave Christian, who from the Minnesota area, the well-known Christian family. But for Brock Nelson to be able to step up and get up in the first line with Kyle Okposo and John Tavares doesn't look out of place on that line today at all.
Had his first NHL goal on October 22nd against Vancouver, which was 6 games ago. Now it's Bolton with the puck outside his own line. Takes a hit as Ryan White will slide it back for Bouillon. Up through center. This is Bouillon, checked by Martin as he'll dump it in. Comes around on the wing. Dumont hands it off to Ryan White. White trying to work it along the boards. Tipped it across. Dumont can't reach it. And it's McDonald that'll clear it out as Subban goes back to get it inside his own zone. Feeds it over to Andre Markov. Up for Gabriel Dumont. Dumont with a backhander, and that ends up in the bench. And so does linesman Mark Shuchek. He jumped in to get out of the way and ended up in the bench. But yeah, Marc Bouchard has tied it up 1-1 late in the second at the Bellson. It's Jessica Rusnak.
John, many different NHL teams have had the father-son road trip in the past, but this was the first time in the Canadiens organization that they had one. It was an idea that was really put forth by Marc Bergevin. Brian Gionta was happy to have his dad Sam along for the trip. He said it was a great way to say thank you for all the support. When Gionta was playing at Boston College, his dad used to do the 6-hour road trip from their home in Rochester, New York to see every single one of his home games. Gionta jokingly said the only downside to having his dad on the road was he had to put up with his snoring every single night.
Actually, Gianta's dad had said that he got those nose strips from his wife. She said, "You better wear these to help Ryan try and sleep better in the room." Here's Bourque handing it off to Bourneval with a shot, and it got blocked. Ryan said he was fine though with his dad in the room, so his dad said, "Well, maybe it's just his mom that has the problem." Here's Bouchard playing it across for Travis Hamilton. He'll bat it out at center, and it ends up back inside the Canadian zone. PK Subban is on it. Subban and Galchenyuk have 7 of the Canadians' 13 shots in the game here tonight. Subban with 3 of them as he'll bank it off the glass. Get it down to the corner, and then he runs Eddie McDonald into the boards. It's swung up to the point. Diaz will come up with it outside the line, and that's the back up here being watched by Bouchard. Leads it up to Lars Eller. He'll tip it in, and out of the net comes Poulin to hand it off here for McDonald. Works it up for Peter Regan. And it's own line. Cross ice feed as Bailey is in. Bailey trying to get around Georges. He'll force him wide. Hangs on to the puck though. Bailey backhand pass in front. Ends up at the point. Off the skate of Bailey and wide. And Matt Carkner trying to get it down low. Brendan Gallagher. Off the head for Lars Eller. He'll deflect it in. And Carkner goes after it, and the fans wanted a little interference call there on Eller trying to come in. Instead, he'll go after it on the far side to get the puck away from Frans Nielsen. Galchenyuk tried to play it back to him, but Carkner has got it.
Yeah, and that's got his hand up in Eller's chin, and I think the crowd was looking for a roughing call. As Eller went to step by him and took a shot right up on the chin, slowed him down, but no call.
Douglas Murray with it now. He'll work his way to center. Murray in the Islander zone. Takes the shot. It's stopped. Runs over. Carkner heading to the net as the puck goes to the corner and Gallagher tries to get to it. Gallagher looks to dig it free here. He's got Matt Martin right on top of him. And he'll get the whistle, and that'll have a face-off inside the Islander zone.
John, there's one way to slow down a team and get rid of their speed, and the New York Islanders have kind of figured it out for the Montreal Canadiens. And what they're doing is they're sending a stretch man in the neutral zone. Watches both defensemen for the Montreal Canadiens are staying with Martin on this situation, and that allowed the opening on the far side to take place, and the New York Islanders easy entry into the zone. Martin shortly after that on the same shift did the same thing. So when the Canadians are pressing, the Islanders are sending that stretch man to the far blue or center, and it's just a long pass looking for the chip in, and that is eliminating a lot of the forecheck for the Montreal Canadiens.
Here's a backhander on net by Pacioretty as it's kicked out by Poulin. AJ Daniel doing the Movember look as well for the team here. He's got a pretty good one going so far here. Tavares trying to bring it back in for the Islanders. Tipped away by Pacioretty. Alaposo hands it off here, and it's backhanded in front by Matt Donovan. Nobody in a white sweater in front of the net there to get it as Hickey goes to fire it back in. Picked up now on a long pass by Subban, intercepted at the Islanders line. Donovan right back into the slot. Waiting, backhander towards an end, and that got blocked by Giunta as Markov will fire it around the boards, and it will end up all the way back down the ice.
It's a nice play by Matt Donovan, offensive defenseman for the New York Islanders. He was actually tied for defenseman scoring last season with Justin Schultz in the American Hockey League. You can see right there some of his offensive skills as he picked the puck off in the neutral zone and then turned it into an offensive opportunity. The Montreal Canadiens just before that play had a pretty good chance in their offensive zone. It was Mikhail Bourneval with 2 quick shots. Just wasn't able to connect.
Grabner returns from the Islanders dressing room after getting a little equipment repair as he tests out the skate. Has not scored in the last 14 games. His last goal for Grabner was October 4th in New Jersey. Gabriel Dumont squaring off with Casey Cizikas. Angled up off the drop. Puck comes free. It looks like it went off the face of Dumont there as he fell down to the ice. Now he comes up with it, and he'll take it around behind the net. Hands it off for Poulin. Off the head to Galchenyuk. Deflected across near side. Comes back at center. White will dump it in. That goes off the leg. It ends up down in the corner, and Ness is there to get it. Fired around the wing. McDonald up with it as Colin McDonald will get it to center. White took a run at him, caught a piece of him, lost his stick. Back the other way, Galchenyuk into the corner for Dumont. Tied up by Carkner. Galchenyuk looking for the loose puck around there. Comes out in front. Ryan White picks it off to the point. Puyol fires. Swept by Poulin. The rebound knocked wide. Casey Cizikas will clear it, and it ends up back down the ice. Icing waved off. Puyol back to get it.
Great job by Alex Galchenyuk up with White down in the corner, creating a great scoring opportunity with Dumont.
Dale May tried the drop pass. It went nowhere, got turned over, and instead the Islanders Grabner will shoot it over the glass into the seats. And that will be a power play for the Canadiens when we return.
To give themselves the 1-goal advantage. Interesting, Michael Grabner picked up on waivers by the Florida Panthers, scored 34 goals a couple seasons ago for the New York Islanders, turning into quite a find by Garceau. Originally, he was drafted 14th overall by Vancouver in 2006, and it took him a few years to develop his scoring, but the New York Islanders have got a pretty good find on the waiver wire right there.
Canadians' second chance on the power play tonight had 3 shots on their first opportunity. Pacioretty feeds it back for Subban at his own line. Up ahead, Markov will carry it in. Taps it out to the corner. Frans Nielsen there, clear to the point. Subban holds it in, but it's broken up as Travis Hamonic will clear it back down the ice.
A bit of a disjointed entry in the zone as Markov fired at what he thought was going to be a cross-corner pass. It didn't quite work out. It was a fairly easy clear. The Islanders picked up the loose puck.
Lars Eller in the corner. Back up for Subban. He's got room. Tees it up, but then gives it off to Pacioretty, who fires right on, and Poulin makes a stop.
Difficult part when you set up your one-timer, and everybody knows in the league that it's going to be Subban. When everybody, even your your shot screen in front of the net is set up for the Subban shot, and then he ditches it off as Pacioretty got a good one-timer, but Poulin saw the puck so easily, and any goalie that's going to see a puck is probably going to stop it. Subban did a nice job of making the puck go laterally in the zone, but unfortunately there was no screen as Eller was set up for the Poulin shot, not the Pacioretty shot from the angle.
Eller now along the boards. Back to the point for Markov. Over to Subban. Fires, and it's wide. Galchenyuk down low trying to move it. Gallagher in there as well. Hamonic's got him tied to the boards though. Eller comes in to try and dig it out. Cizikas all over him. Eller got it back in the net. Galchenyuk up high for PK Subban. Subban looks to the net. Hands it off to Markov, and it's stopped by Poulin. Galchenyuk back for Subban again. PK Subban over to Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk, Eller, he scores! Lars Eller snaps his 12-game goal to Stroud with his first power play goal of the year, and it's 2-1 Montreal.
Now this is just hard work by this line, down low, winning the battles, and then the skill shows through. Great pass by Galchenyuk. Eller set up for the one-timer right in the wheelhouse. You can see Galchenyuk, he's looking to the net. The penalty killers aren't really sure where he's going to go with it, and he quickly snaps it through the seam. And Eller, you can't be happier to break that goal drought. Assist earlier in the game. Now he's got a goal, 2 points. This line is clicking once again this evening.
Here's Georges up in center for Bonneval. Down the wing, throws it towards the net, and that goes wide. Tavares knocked over by Bonneval on a check. He's up on the puck now. Mikel Bonneval will send it down low. And a penalty coming up here, though. This will be a high sticking call against the Islanders as Gionta was clipped, and the Canadiens will go back to the power play.
Bonneval on the far side of the ice is getting a little talking to by Thomas Hickey as we have a look at Gionta, but it was Bonneval who took down John Tavares. Good clean check. Tavares came right back at him, and then when the whistle went, 3 Islanders circled around Bonneval and took him down. I think we've got a little bit of blood in Gionta's mouth. We'll see what the call if they're going to get 4.
New York number 14, double minor penalty for high sticking.
So Thomas Hickey is going to get the 4 minutes. The stick comes up just inadvertently, catches Gionta right across the bridge, right under the nose it looked like. A little bit of blood, which is an automatic 4 minutes, but he's not very happy with it because he realizes that it was kind of a momentum play that took a stick up into the face of Gionta, but either way, you have to be in control of your stick at all times. Brian Gionta will take that one for the team any day.
Looks like Gionta maybe broke his tooth there.
Well, he's not sure where he's spitting the water out. It went all over his visor. This is a broken tooth. It's coming out the wrong way.
Smile for us, Brian.
Got to give us there. Yeah.
Yep. There it is. He's got the hockey look now.
I don't think those were real teeth, because if they were, he'd be feeling a little bit of pain right now. A little bit of dental work done. I think he's lost those before. Probably why he's not wearing a mouth guard to start with.
So the Canadians now with a big power play opportunity here. Subban at the line has got it. Subban hands it off to Lars Eller. Down low, Galchenyuk waiting. Up high, Eller over to Subban. Puck, he won't shoot it. Hands it off, Markov back for Galchenyuk. Oh, what a chance there. Couldn't get all of it. Subban to Markov. Down low for Galchenyuk. It's tipped away. Lars Eller gets it back down. Gallagher will swing it around to the point. Markov is there. Andre Markov and PK Subban switch spots. There's a one-timer in it. It just went wide of the net. Markov at the line and it tipped away by Regan. And the puck will come back down the ice.
Good stick by Peter Regan as he closed the gap on Markov and was able to get the clear.
Subban's got it again. He'll backhand it down low in the corner. Bourque trying to play it. Parkner there as well. Bourque lost it. Islanders are on it. And it's cleared down the ice. Price out of the net. We'll hand it off to Markov here. Andre Markov's pass goes nowhere. Ness has got it at center. Went to dump it in. Markov intercepts. And Desharnais is on the puck. The Pacioretty. He'll dump it in. Desharnais back for Bouillon. He'll throw it across to the near side. Pacioretty wheeling around. It's way into Diaz. Down in the corner. Desharnais up high for Diaz. Across to Bouillon. Bouillon back for Diaz. Looks to the net. Takes the shot. Now gets it back from Desharnais. Off for Bouillon again. Bouillon trying to go up high to Diaz. It's off the skate and Travis Hamonic will clear it.
Great idea by Bouillon going back to Diaz, but he just delayed a half a second, and that just allowed the Islander to get in the lane and deflect that pass off his skate down the ice.
Bouillon dumps it in off the glass. Gionta trying to move it in the corner. Now it's back to the point. Diaz over to Bouillon. Bouillon with it. Back for Diaz again. Hands it off to Bouillon. Takes the shot. Stopped by Poulin. Rebound in front, and Bouillon's got it. This is Bouillon into the corner with it. Lays it up high to the point. Diaz back for Bouillon. Final minute of play here in the second. Buchanan's for Diaz. Tees it up. Scores! Bourneval on the redirect.
Diaz with a great low shot where Bourneval was the high deflection, was able to easily deflect this within. But you can see the four white jerseys all standing up. They were tired. Great job by the Canadians on moving the puck around on this power play. Bourneval sets himself up with the high tip. Diaz takes the shot, and Bourneval puts his stick on it, puts it up and over Poulin. As you can see, Diaz looking for that deflection the whole way. He had a low deflection or low screen was Gionta in front of the net. Bourneval up top with the high deflection. Gets his stick on it. Lovely deflection on the power play by Bourneval.
First power play goal for Mikel Bourneval on his fifth of the year. And the Islanders get called for icing here.
Bourneval did a great job early on this as we have a look down low and you can see Gionta. I don't know why he's not in front of the net because he doesn't have any teeth, so he may as well stand in front of it. It looks like he's off to the side, but you can see the puck going up, and it actually goes up off Bourneval's stick.
Ness is checked along the boards as Gallagher kept it in. Eller across for Georges, walking in, firing up the glove of Poulin there. And the puck gets cleared back down the ice. Little miscue here as Islanders get it back. Nilsson trying to throw it to the goal. It's off his skate. Oposo back in the net. Trying to play it. Here's Tavares. Had it taken away by Subban. Gallagher has got it. He'll flip it up over the head of McDonald. Back after it in the Islanders zone. And he'll work it to center off the skate of Oposo. Subban will stop it at the line, and that'll do it for period number 2. A period where the Canadians get the power play rolling and working big time for them.
You've got the number 3 power play in the National Hockey League, and you rely on it at times to win you games. So the Montreal Canadiens relied on it heavily in the second period as they scored 2 on the power play to take a 2-goal lead.
Francois Gagnon coming up in the second intermission in the box as the Canadiens outshoot the Islanders 10-8 in that second and have a couple of power play goals to lead it 3-1 after 40 minutes of play with the Canadiens on TSN. A lot of goals to talk about in that second period, and 3 of the 4 power play markers, and 3 of the 4 also belong to the Canadiens. Eller, Gallagher, Bonneval, Bouchard scoring for the Islanders. 2018 the shots as we get set for period number 3.
Well, nice to see Lars Eller's name in there. We're going to continue to talk about him as he wins the draw, his 9th face-off win in the game so far. And he's got a bit of a spark, and he's got Galchenyuk and Gallagher going extremely well in this game against the Islanders. Exactly what the Montreal Canadiens need is Lars Eller to get back on the score sheet, not only in the assist column but in the goal column. And when Lars Eller is going, as we saw at the start of this season, when he is playing up to the potential that he can play at and putting points on the board, the rest of the team is going to follow. This is a tremendous young player with a very bright future. It's all about confidence. When you start getting goals, you get your confidence, and Eller's got that now.
Here's Travis Hamonic up with the puck. He'll try to get it out of his own zone. That goes off the stick of Galchenyuk, and the Canadiens regroup with it. Subban feeds it over to Markov. He'll backhand it off the boards out at center. Galchenyuk can't come up with that one off the skate of Subban. Here's a break for the Islanders. Frans Nielsen trying to get it in front, but it's off the skate. It comes back up high for Bailey. Subban down in the corner. Hands it off for Galchenyuk. Lifted up off the glass. Eller trying to knock it down. And Galchenyuk will tip it up on the boards. Grabner on it. Can't clear it out. At the line. Hamonic lays it across for Andrew McDonald. His shot got blocked. And it's back behind the net as PK Subban goes to move it. And he'll get it up in the air where Eller will knock it down. And the Islanders get it back in their own zone. Andrew McDonald laying it over to Travis Hamonic. He was in his 200th NHL game last night in Columbus against the Blue Jackets. There's Brian Gionta with it now. Gionta down the right side trying to snap it to the net. Donovan blocked that one. Comes back up around the boards, and Kyle Okposo hands it off at center. Tavares bringing it in. John Tavares pass to his legs to Okposo with a backhander that's over the net. Donovan trying to knock it down. Comes into the slot. Tavares hands it off. Nelson shoots. That one is high and wide. Islanders trying to keep the pressure on here. Okposo will swing it around to the far side. Nelson going after it. Takes a hit from Josh Georges. Way towards the front of the net. Tavares there trying to reach it. Now it comes back up to the point. Donovan hands it off for John Tavares. Being watched by Brian Gionta. Throws it towards the net. Plekanec will knock it away. And it's picked up by Max Pacioretty. Down the wing. And now he's going to wait for a little help. Steps it on goal. And Poulin makes the stop.
Nice shot by Pacioretty, but Brian Gionta had his hands full in the defensive zone as he was playing a little one-on-one coverage with John Tavares.
Here's Bourque in the slot. Down. Mail with a chance going to the net. Just couldn't get a stick on it, and it's cleared back out. Bouillon going after this one. He'll win the race, and the Islanders get called for icing.
John Tavares there showing a little flash of what we've seen throughout the course of his career as he makes a nice little drop pass. He gets inside the zone, realizing as he loses the puck he has nowhere to go, and a quick between the legs pass to Kyle Okposo, who just goes high and wide on the backhand. But John Tavares is ever so dangerous in a play that looks like, oh, it's broken, he's lost the puck, he turns it into a great scoring chance. Brian Gionta was chasing it. And I could say chasing because he was chasing Tavares around in the defensive zone that shift. And other than that drop pass, he didn't give Tavares much room.
Up now down along the boards. Rene Bourque trying to get to it, but it is tipped away as Regan will hand it off at center for Thomas Hickey. Fires a long shot in. Glove by Place wants to play it. And he's able to pat it off for Bouillon. Will get it back out at center. Here's Carkner with it. Carkner over to Ness inside his own line. Long feed up for McDonald. Tip for Bouchard in with a shot off the stick handle of Price. Regan will dump it in back of the net. McDonald has got it. Into the corner. Bouillon checking him. Dale May comes up with the puck. Trying to go up the boards here. Regan comes in to tip it loose. And Douglas Murray will pat it behind the net for Bouillon. Handing it off onto the wing. Carpenter pulls it back behind the net. Colin McDonald is on it. Feeds it up high to the point. Aaron Ness with a shot. That goes wide as the Islanders now got the Canadians back on their heels. Colin McDonald in the corner for Bouchard. Bouchard in the slot. Tipped away. Desharnais has got it. And David Desharnais will bank it off the boards, rolling it out to center. Now has to go after it as White comes off the bench. Penalty coming up here. And this is going to go against the Canadians. It'll be a hooking call that will send the Islanders to the power play as they're trying to build a little momentum here early in the third.
David Desharnais is going to get the hook in the neutral zone.
Draw number 51, minor penalty, hooking.
Getting caught in his own zone. Desharnais late in the shift got the puck up over the blue line but couldn't get it deep at center. And on the turnover, the Islanders turned it around, and as the puck went back into the Habs zone, Desharnais reached around, gave a little bit of a hook on the puck carrier as he made a late, lazy change, and he's going to pay the price. But the New York Islanders have come out with a purpose in this third period. They've been dominating the first 4 minutes in the Habs zone. Excellent puck pursuit, excellent foot movement. The Habs are sitting back a little bit, which they shouldn't be doing after getting those 2 late power play goals in the second.
Kyle Okposo will flip it in the corner. Sends it around the boards. Tavares has got it. Drops it off down low, back of the net. Here's Frans Nielsen for Tavares in front. They score! Right on the doorstep, Brock Nelson puts it home, but are they going to have a look at this to see if he kicked it in?
Well, Brian Johnson is saying that it was kicked in by Brock Nelson in front of the net, and we'll everything is reviewed, and the referees are going to sit and discuss this. I think it did go off of Nelson's foot. It looked like Nelson was moving. Not sure if it was a kicking motion or not. He turns his right foot. Not sure if he got his stick on it. We'll get a good look at it here. Great pass by Tavares as he threads the needle. He threads the needle between Price's stick and the post. And Brock Nelson is standing in front. I think this is going to be a good goal. Great pass. That's a great look right there at the pass and a little bit of room that Tavares had. I don't know if that's a distinct kicking motion or the fact that he's just turning his foot to stop the puck and it bounced in. But we've seen different calls throughout this year, and we'll wait for an official call on this, but a very impressive play by John Tavares below the goal line to find that little bit of room. That's why when you're penalty killing, you cannot give players like that room below the goal line. That's where you pressure. That's a pressure point. Get on the puck, pressure the man. As we get another look, watch the right foot of Nelson is turning. Tough to say if it's an actual kick or he's just turning and he's trying to stop the puck. We'll leave that one up to the war room in Toronto as they're going to have a good look at that. But if it's a goal, it's a huge lift for the New York Islanders.
Islanders were building a lot of momentum here to start that third period.
They sure
try
were.
to get back into this game.
And they did right there what they've been doing in the third period is they had the Montreal Canadiens standing around. It's difficult on the penalty kill sometimes to pressure, but the Habs are standing around before that penalty was taken.
The Islanders out shooting Montreal 4-0 to start this third period. And even if the goal is waved off, there will still be a power play here. It was called a goal on the ice, so it's going to have to be conclusive video evidence to overturn that call.
Well, Brock Nelson didn't play last night in Columbus, and he's put in the lineup with Thomas Vanek going out. Nelson comes in.
And here's the decision on it.
Upon review, the puck was not kicked in the net. Goal on the ice stands.
And it did look more so like he turned his skate than actually kicked it. So the Islanders get a power play goal. And it's a one-goal game.
See David Desharnais on the ice on the bench is not happy with that, and he shouldn't be. It was a lazy hook in the neutral zone after a poor shift in their own zone. Now the Montreal Canadiens have just given the New York Islanders life, and we've got a game once again.
Brock Nelson, after getting his first NHL goal 6 games ago, has scored, and the Islanders don't waste a lot of time in their power plays tonight. The 2 power play goals they've scored have come 22 and 26 seconds into the man advantage. Here's Gallagher, now down to the New York zone, getting it up high for Eller, tips it off to Galchenyuk. He's taken into the corner by Andy McDonald. Eller trying to work it here. Casey Cizikas has them all tied up. Eller will bat it up the boards. Knocked down by Matt Martin. Trying to go up the wing. Subban got his skate in the way there, and now it is still tied up here. Martin trying to poke it free. Puck finally comes loose, thrown towards the net and goes wide. Galchenyuk can't go up with Hamilton. Back behind the net. Eller trying to bat it out front, and it's taken away by Matt Martin. They'll hand it across to Colin McDonald at center, who will flip it into the corner. PK Subban after it back of the goal. Martin's got a hold of him and takes him down back of the net as the fans look for a call and don't get one.
Matt Martin is a body checker. He throws his weight around. He had 8 hits in Columbus last night for the New York Islanders, and he is going to lean on anybody on the ice. In that situation, he just leaned a little too long on PK Subban.
Oposo picks it off for Tavares back of the net. John Tavares feeds it up for Donovan across left side. Hickey trying to get it towards the net. It's blocked, and the Canadians are on it at center. Here comes Rene Bourque with it. Bourque trying to cut to the net. Got the shot on goal. Pull out a save. Rebound. And it's thrown up over the net. Then goes off the skate of the linesman. That allows the 3-on-2 for the Islanders. Oposo to Nelson. Shoots. That one goes wide. Bonneval hustling after it now, and he's got it back on the transition. Crossing in, tried the shot. Bourque, though, was looking to drag his leg and couldn't do it far enough, and it ends up being an offside.
We're getting into a little bit of a track beat now as teams are trading chances. Lucky bounce by the Islanders, but this is a great play. Now Mikhail Bonneval blocks the shot and then has the presence of mind to know that Rene Bourque is in the middle of the ice. So instead of just shooting off the boards, he feeds Bourque, and Bourque goes in and gets a great scoring opportunity. And then on the second opportunity on the rebound, throws it between the goal pipes, looking for 3 as he would have got a field goal if he played on the Alouettes on that second shot. A great play by Bonneval after he blocked the shot in his own zone.
Julio after into the corner. Plekanec rolls it up to the point. Held in by the Islanders zone. Ness has his shot blocked. Gionta tries to air it up, and he got it for Thomas Plekanec. But he knocked it out of the air with a high stick. And Plekanec doesn't like the call, but it won't get changed as the Islanders are within 1 here in the third. It's 3-2 on TSN.
Happy that the call was made, but it was the right call. Brian Gionta flips this puck out. Another smart play after a block shot. You can see Thomas Plekanec's stick was well above his shoulders as Michael Grabner was skating stride for stride with him. You can see the frustration with Plekanec after that. Fortunately for the Montreal Canadiens, the faceoff is going to be outside the blue line. We thought this may have actually gone right back beside Carey Price, but the faceoff will come right in front of the Montreal Canadiens bench.
David Desharnais back out there against Frans Nielsen. Nielsen picking up an assist on that Islanders power play goal. He had a 4-game point streak with 8 points, but since it only had a goal and an assist in the last 4 games, so picks up an extra one there. Here's Rene Bourque with the puck in the Islanders zone, off for Bonneval in the corner. Trying to get away from Andy McDonald. Now does. Bonneval throws it towards the net. It goes wide. Markov at the point will keep it in. Back to the net for Rene Bourque, centering it. Tipped up in the air. That one ends up in the corner. Desharnais after him. McDonald there as well. Goes off the arm of Bourque and is now brought out as Frans Nielsen will carry it to center. Onto the wing for Grabner. Backhands down low. Nielsen trying to get it in front to Bailey. Crashing the goal. And Price will keep the puck in front of him and hold it out.
Well, David Desharnais in good position to retrieve that pass that would have gone right to Bailey's stick. Carey Price covered it up. But Desharnais coming back on the back check. He's watching as he sees this play go to the net. He's in perfect position right in front of his man, which was Bailey. And he kind of got surprised when the puck came right to his stick. But I was a little surprised to see David Desharnais back on the ice after he took that lazy penalty for hooking, which the Islanders scored on. I'll give Michel Therrien credit, giving David Desharnais another opportunity, and they did have with Bourque and Bonneval down low. They had a very good shift, creating some opportunities down low.
Brian Gionta up with it now. Feeds it back to the net for Max Pacioretty. Pacioretty in the corner, trying to go up to the point, and that is off the skate of the official as Carter will get it back. Here's Georges swiping at the puck. Got it up for Plekanec, and now another race forward in the Islanders zone. Gionta trying to get to it first, and he will. Hands it off for Thomas Plekanec. Plekanec throws it out the outside of the net. Pacioretty going to the goal, can't tip it in. And Pacioretty Knocks his man down as Placanitz comes up with the puck. Oposo right on top of him. Ness comes in to help out. Up onto the wing, and it's tipped away as Brock Nelson will play it out at center away from Tavares. And Douglas Murray back on it for the Canadians. Trying to deflect it off the boards. Oposo knocked it down. Gianta looking to get to it. Tipped out. Galchenyuk had his stick break. And he's going to go to the bench to get a new one right when the battle for the puck was taking place at the blue line. Bouchard will back up at center with it. Now here's Bouchard. In on the wing, holds up, takes a shot off the skate of Murray and wide. Gallagher after it in the corner. Lenny Gallagher will start back out. Gives way to Alex Galchenyuk through center. Galchenyuk over the line, trying to go back to Gallagher. It's knocked down, and he backs it towards the net as that goes wide of the goal. Comes to the point. Gallagher keeps it in. Down low for Galchenyuk. Off to Lars Eller. It's off his stick. He can't settle it down. And the Islanders clear it as Colin McDonald will bring it back up ice. Rolls it by Markov into the corner. McDonald going after it. Subban in there to help out as Lars Eller will come in for the puck. And it's Markov that gives it away to Galchenyuk. Pushed forward for Gallagher. He'll cross center and dump it in. The Canadians get the line change in here.
The Canadians are trying to push the play, trying to get play in the offensive zone, just not able to control it down low. But I like the way they pick the pace up, a little sense of urgency in their game. Since the Islanders scored that last power play goal.
Dumont got it back behind the net. Played into the corner. Casey Cizikas after it. He'll get it out at center. And Bolton will dump it in. Diaz going after it. Loops his own goal and has a look up ice as he dodged the check. Pacioretty at center. Deflects it ahead. It was batted out of the air by Hamonic. And El Dumont will finish the job and get it in deep. Long pass up for Cizikas. Murray watching him as he'll send it around to the far side. Bolton in the corner trying to get it in front. Blocked by Carey Price. Here's Matt Martin with it. Playing it back behind the goal. Douglas Murray going after it in the corner. Murray looking to move it. Cizikas as well. Loose back in front. Grabner with a chance and he flipped it wide. Julio on the puck. And he'll backhand it up across for Bonneval. Mikel Bonneval got to the line and an offside call as the Canadians got a little crossed up there, but the Islanders had a chance for an equalizer, couldn't capitalize. It's the Canadians on TSN.
Well, the New York Islanders are not quitting whatsoever. They are still pushing, and Michael Grabner just had a great opportunity. Casey Cizikas does a fantastic job on the puck with Douglas Murray and chips it out to the opening where all the Montreal Canadiens lost track of who was on the ice, and Michael Grabner comes in from the bench on a change and gets a very, very good scoring opportunity. So this has become an end-to-end rush opportunity for both teams. The Islanders are starting to open things up as they're pushing for the tying goal. And when they open things up, when the Montreal Canadiens turn the puck the other way on the transition, they're getting opportunities themselves. So I don't think we've seen the last goal in this game right yet, John.
Islanders win the draw. Frans Nielsen back for Hamonic. Across to Andy McDonald, dumps it right in on Carey Price. And Price wants to move the puck himself. He'll get it up for Galchenyuk. Across for Subban through center. Picked off by Josh Bailey. Subban's got to go back in his own zone to get it. Now fights off Grabner. Playing it back in the net for Markov. Markov around the glass to the line and up. Back down the ice.
Subban got lucky.
Gallagher in front. Allen Galchenyuk scores! Alex Galchenyuk on the doorstep, tips it home, and he snaps a 5-game goalless drought to give the Habs their 2-goal lead back.
Well, the Montreal Canadiens couldn't ask for anything more than to have every player on this line score a goal, and this is just great hustle by, once again, the water bug. It's Gallagher comes up with the puck. Great job on the hustle to pick up the puck. Look at this. He just gets down the ice, absolutely out-hustles and outworks McDonald. Throws it across to Eller to Galchenyuk. Beautiful play on a 3-way passing play to get what the Montreal Canadiens desperately needed, was that 2-goal lead once again. And that Eller line of Galchenyuk and Gallagher continues with a goal in each period so far of this game, and they've all got one. That's a great game from one line in red.
Here's Oposo at center, rolling it into the Canadiens' end. Josh Douglas going after it. Lays it back in the net for Diaz. Diaz trying to move it up in the wing, had the puck go off his skate, and now it is Brian Giunta. Knocked down the right side as he dodged the check and puts it in on goal. Poulin will steer it to the corner, comes up the boards. Diaz at the line will keep it in. Sends it back around on the near side as Pacioretty lets Georges take it. Up to the side of the Islanders' net. Hickey after it in the corner. He'll get it up on the wing, and the Islanders will carry it back to the center. Tavares backhands it into the Canadian zone. Georges comes up with it. Long pass intended for Bonneval, but that's into the skates of Carter. And now Bourque can't pick the pass up to the blue line, and the Islanders back up ice with it. Weiss deflects it to the corner. Bouillon sends it behind the net for Douglas Murray. Jumped over his stick, and Murray will try to go up the wing here. That got knocked down. Back into the corner. McDonald all over Bouillon. Up on the near side, Dale May trying to play it away from Regan. Comes to the point. Ness with a shot. Right on place, the save. And the rebound is batted to the corner. Murray gets it up off the glass, and it ends up out of play on the deflection.
Well, John, just before the last goal, PK Subban had a play with Michael Grabner. Watch Subban. He gets his stick, and he just pulls Grabner's stick out of his hands. And from here, the puck is dumped out down the ice, and then this is the result of that play by PK Subban. And I thought he may have gotten called on a holding penalty when he pulled Grabner's stick out of his hands. About 5 seconds later, Alex Galchenyuk scores the fourth goal of this game. But the little subtleties of the game that sometimes are called, sometimes aren't. But the Montreal Canadiens and Subban, I think, may have got away with one before that last goal.
Andy McDonald works the puck to center. Dumont is there. Got it over to Max Pacioretty. He'll dump it in. McDonald around behind his own net. Starts it back out as he'll move it up onto the wing. And this pass comes back up for Dumont with a high shot off the shoulder of Poulin. And that will bounce out of play as Pacioretty's out on that line right now with Travis Moan not returning tonight with the flu after leaving the game midway through.
Well, a lot has been talked about how the Montreal Canadiens have played most of their games against the West, and they're coming into this game at 500. Well, this is the first of a string of 13 of 14 versus the East. And if the Montreal Canadiens want to get themselves into a playoff position by the time you hit Christmas and hold that playoff position, now is the time to do it when you play the Eastern Division or the Eastern Conference. And this is a great start for that stretch of 14 games where 13 will be against Eastern Conference teams.
And if you go further than that, 20 of the next 25 against the East as well.
So important to beat the teams in your own conference because those are what they call the old 4-point games. You're going to make the ground up quicker by beating the teams in your own division and your own conference.
Gallagher at center fights for the puck. He'll get it into the Islanders zone. They regroup now. Peter Regan. Check that Matt Donovan on it. Got it back up on the wing as Bailey will tip it in. There's Markov with it. Andre Markov. Head for Lars Eller. On it across to Max Pacioretty. Pacioretty in over the line. Trying to cut to the goal. Can't get through the defense there. Pacioretty falls down, swiping it up to the line. Georges will tip it back in. Off the glass. Pacioretty trying to find it, but it's taken away by Thomas Hickey.
Good strong play by Pacioretty with some puck work along the boards, trying to carry it instead of dump it in. A smart play, protected the puck, got the puck in deep. Nice to see Max Pacioretty starting to get that confidence and get his game back, where he can make those plays, where he can use his size and his strength.
Offside called against the Islanders there as John Tavares got a little head of the play. 2-goal lead for Montreal here. Habs will have the Tampa Bay Lightning here at the Bell Center on Tuesday night.
This is a difficult game for the New York Islanders to lose. It's the last of a 4-game road trip that they've lost all 3, and it's also the fact that the Islanders have only won 3 games in regulation this season, and that is not a good stat. You win games, you want to win them in regulation. They've only won 3 so far of their 6. And when you're playing, this will be 18th or 18th game. When you win 3 in regulation, it doesn't look good for the playoffs.
Here's Tavares into the slot, knocked away. Nilsson with a chance, and his shot goes wide. Tavares taken into the corner by Gabriel Dumont. Now it comes up on the boards. Oposo trying to find it. Dug out going. Ryan White will skate it at center. White in on the wing. Centers it in front as Dumont was headed to the goal and couldn't get his stick down on it for the tip. Here's Sumo, back to the line, will dump it in, knocked down by Travis Hamonic, and it's cleared back at center. Murray is there, and he'll fire it right back in. Bouchard will kick it to the corner for McDonald.
Don Gabriel Dumont has had a super game. He's used his speed. He's been involved in the play once again, getting a pretty good offensive opportunity, but making things happen by going to the net, putting pucks to the net. I'm really impressed with the way he's just stepped into the lineup.
Here's Brian Giolta with it. Snapshot right on. And Kevin Poulet has got that one. And he'll hold on with just over 5 minutes remaining in the third period. And the Canadians back out front. 4-2 with the Canadians on TSN. Galchenyuk with a goal in this game and a multi-point game as well. And with more, here's Jessica Russell.
Alex Galchenyuk and Brendan Gallagher are off to a great start to the season, and maybe that's because they haven't changed their living arrangements going into their sophomore year. Alex Galchenyuk is still living with his mom and sister who moved to Montreal last year. His dad has relocated and joined the family now that he's no longer part of the Sarnia Stings coaching staff. Brendan Gallagher, who lived with Josh Georges last year, asked if he could live with him again. Georges, who got married during the offseason, said he checked with his new wife and she had no problem having him back as a roommate.
That's not a bad
That's
deal.
lovely. Home cooking. Years ago, we had Glenn Murray, was a rookie of the Boston Bruins. He lived with my wife and I. My wife was pregnant with our daughter at the time. And Glenn was great. He absolutely loved it. He ate, the only problem was he ate all the cookies that my wife made. But it was, this was a great situation for him. That's a great situation for Gallagher. Although Glenn only stayed 1 year. Gallagher, that's awesome, though. That's great. I love the way young players do that. The teams set up the young guys, move them into great situations.
Fully supported that way, that's for sure.
Josh Georges is getting ready for children with Brendan Gallagher in the house on a regular basis.
Off the check with Josh as to how many cookies Brendan likes to eat in the house. So
I don't think the pro athletes, the hockey players, eat cookies anymore.
Oh yeah, you think so? Offside called here against the Canadians. You'd be surprised. But a big night to end the drought for that line.
No question. This is what the Montreal Canadiens need, is these guys going. Gallagher's been the most consistent on the score sheet throughout the season, and Lars Eller has been playing excellent hockey, and so has Galchenyuk. But you sit and look at the stats every game. Trust me, guys do it. They look at the stats, see where they are, comparables to friends around the league, and when you're not putting up the numbers, it gets a little frustrating. And when they each get a goal in this game, their confidence can be extremely high, and hopefully this carries over for games to come now.
Douglas Murray takes the puck around behind his own net, trying to get away from Franz Nielsen. Played across for Desharnais, and he'll flip it out at center. Islanders dump it right back in. Murray's going to go after it here. Josh Bailey trying to get chase. Swung around the boards. And Desharnais can't lift it up. We got caught in some skates there as Grabner will dump it back in. Douglas Murray back of the net in the corner for Francis Bouillon. Up to the wing, and Bonneval will deflect it out. Bolt going after it, and it's tipped back in the Islanders' zone. This will bank it off the boards back to the Canadiens' end. Islanders get the line changed. Georges up ahead for Rene Bourque. Bourque in on the wing, caught up by Donovan. He's got it in the corner now. Rene Bourque drops it back to the point for Georges. Trying to go down low. Pacioretty comes up with a centering pass in front, but nobody in a red sweater there able to get to it as Brock Nelson will clear it. Georges for Diaz. Back up for Giolta, and that's on the wrong side of center as the Canadians will get called for icing here.
Well, you can see a little bit of the fatigue at the end of the road trip as this clock winds down to just over 3.5 minutes remaining in the New York Islanders' legs, and the Montreal Canadiens, I'm not sure if everybody knows what's at stake in this win, as they've got coach Michel Therrien who's going to hit a milestone with this win.
249 career wins is what he has been sitting on the last 4 games for the Canadiens, so trying to hit that 250 mark here tonight. Pacioretty cuts to the net, backhander on goal, stopped by Poulet. Great drive by Pacioretty, but Travis Hamonic is hurt as he went into the end boards and I think hit his head falling backwards. Up ice, place with a stop off of Poso, and Hamonic just getting up to his feet now, back in the Islanders' zone.
Travis Hamonic was trying to take out Max Pacioretty going to the net, and he was the recipient of just bad luck as he turns on this puck and gets Pacioretty. Pacioretty just bowls him over, and not a malicious check at all as Pacioretty drives his puck to the net, picks it up off his skate, gets the shot, and then Hamonic just happens to be in the way. And he hits the board extremely hard, and he's going to leave and go right to the locker room. Give the Islanders credit. The play turned around and went the other way. As you can see how Hamonic goes into the boards with his left shoulder and his head. Very awkward. You can see Gionta looking back. There's a huge collision. The puck went back the other way. Carey Price made a great stop, but as the play was moving up the ice, the referee with the whistle in his mouth was waiting to see what was going to happen on the rush by the Islanders and to see if Hamonic's injury was serious enough to call the play dead, but he didn't.
I think what made it worse is he was falling backwards. And you go and get a little bit of whiplash there as well if your head gets snapped back into the boards.
Couldn't protect himself whatsoever, and Hamonic is a big player for the New York Islanders. He's having a very good season for the Islanders on the back end. It'll be tough if they lose Vanek one night and Hamonic for any length of time the next.
Lars Eller up with the puck. He'll flip it out at center. And Thomas Hickey knocked it down, lost it to Gallagher. Then Gallagher falls, trying to get the puck back and get a scoring chance. Here's Colin McDonald back the other way. Sends it down low. PK Subban on it. Subban will poke it up at the line. Ness held it in, and then the shot was blocked by Eller. Here comes Eller to the net. Route around a tap right in front for Gallagher. Mr. Galchenyuk with a shot that's blocked. As Poulin was down like a fish out of water on the dock there. Galchenyuk in tight again, gets hooked. Penalty coming up here. This will go to the Islanders as that line again was buzzing, looking for the 5th Montreal goal.
Jack Capuano not very happy with what he's seeing, but Thomas Hickey straight to the penalty box as he hooked Alex Galchenyuk. As Galchenyuk was ready to take it to the backhand, the whistle went. Hickey just left the puck and went right to the penalty box. But what a rush by Lars Eller as he tried to wrap it around off the initial rush. Galchenyuk gets a late shot, then it retrieves the puck once again with he and Gallagher moving it in with a nice little give and go to give Galchenyuk a third opportunity on the rush. And Thomas Hickey said, enough's enough, I'm hooking you. You're not scoring when I'm on the ice. Now he's in the penalty box.
May trying to win the draw back for Subban. It's broken up though as Nielsen will get it down the ice. And that one ends up over the glass. Canadians have managed 7 shots on their power plays tonight.
Oh, Carey Price quite happy to see this 2-goal lead as his team has struggled to score goals as of late. They've had one game in their last 6 where they've scored over 2 goals. And the Montreal Canadiens are able to get 4 on the board. Carey Price in the net. Usually, John, they're winning.
There's Markov up for David Desharnais. He'll find his way through center. Gets in over the line. Desharnais drops it for Bourque. Bourque down in the corner for Desharnais. Had that one tipped away, and Nielsen has got it back up ice. Ernst Nielsen drops it for McDonald trying to go to the net. Nielsen on a backhander, blocked by Markov, and it's taken away by Rene Bourque. Bourque now trying to get by Andy McDonald. McDonald swipes the puck off his stick. Porteval follows up, drops it to Subban, and he doesn't shoot. Subban to the boards, trying to get away from Tavares. Checked on the play, got it down low. Bourque going after it. Porteval knocks it down. Andy McDonald will clear it off the glass, and it will come back to the Canadiens line. PK Subban takes it back behind his own net. Now works it up on the wing as Thomas Plekanec will cross center. A little give and go with Gionta in the slot. Pacioretty, snapshot stopped by Poulin, and he'll cover it up and hold on. 24CH, the series, back for another year, giving you exclusive behind-the-scenes access to one of the NHL's most storied franchises, the Montreal Canadiens. Episode 6 of 24CH. Series airs on Tuesday, 7 Eastern, 8 Atlantic on TSN2. Power play still has 49 seconds remaining. A minute 24 left here in the third. And the Canadiens up by a pair. As Plekanec and Tavares will take the drop. Plekanec won it. Here's Gionta. Back down low. Pacioretty went after it back in the net, but Aaron Ness got it his way. Played up out of the reach of Gionta. It'll come out at center. Diaz is here for Pacioretty. Across for Pouliot. He'll back it up inside his own line here. Now gives way for Diaz and right back up for Plekanec. Thomas Plekanec carrying it in the Islanders zone to the slot for Gionta. It's off his stick, and the Islanders are back up ice. Here comes Tavares. Stood up by Pouliot. Put the puck through his feet. Got a shot on net. Price makes a stop. Pacioretty will bat it out at center. Giunta has got it. Trying to take it in by Ness. Dropped it for Pacioretty. He's checked by Carkner. Giunta comes up with a puck. He'll move it across to Diaz. Fires right on. And Pulas got it. And he'll hold on. And that'll do it for the power plays. Carkner and Pacioretty now mix it up. Gloves come off here. And the linesman trying to get in to break it up as a crowd will draw by the Islanders net.
Well, this is not what the Montreal Canadiens want. Max Pacioretty, Matt Carkner scrap late in the game. Well, the game's pretty much over. I mean, Pacioretty was the guy initiating this because he wasn't letting up on Carkner. Pacioretty just goes to the net. There's the shot. Pacioretty stands around, gets his elbows up. But if you're sitting on the bench or watching this, you're like, do not get involved there, Max. That is one place you don't want to be at this point of the game. Last thing you need is get in a fight. That means absolutely nothing to the game and get yourself injured again.
Well, Carkner and Pacioretty will head off here. Well, Pacioretty actually still on the bench. Carkner has gone to the dressing room. .8 seconds left as Dumont won the draw. Gabriel Dumont takes it down in the corner. Bourque on the forecheck. There's Bourque with a shot kicked up by Poulin. They only give Carkner the 10-minute misconduct just to get him off the ice as Matt Martin will carry it to center. Tipped away by Markov. Here's Bolton inside the line, lost it. Bourque has got it back. Bourque at center, can't come up with it. Bolton will dump it in. Price will let it go back in the net. 5 seconds to go, and the Canadiens' 4-game losing streak will come to an end here tonight as Michel Therrien gets career win number 250 as a head coach in the NHL with a 4-2 win by the Canadiens tonight.
Well, Michel Therrien, I'm sure, will be enjoying this win tonight and tomorrow. Carey Price, an excellent game as usual, and it was nice to see the power play going once again with Lars Eller, Alex Galchenyuk, and Brendan Gallagher each scoring for the Montreal Canadiens.
So the Canadiens back at home for a little 2-game set, and they win it to improve to 5-4-1 at the Bell Center, 9-8-0-1 on the season, while the Islanders have dropped 4 straight, and all 4 came on the road. 4-2 the final. Back to the Bell Center in a moment with more.